Vinaka, and welcome to our show. Our guests tonight are Melinia Nawadra, the Social Policy Team Leader at the Pacific Islands Forum Secretariat, and Dr. Fiona Hukula, the Policy Advisor for Gender Equality, also at the Pacific Islands Forum Secretariat. Ladies, thank you for joining us for this conversation. You've just concluded the Pacific Islands Forum Women Leaders Meeting. Please just take us through some of the activities that took place over the last few days.
Okay, sure. Anisambula Binaka, Melinia Nawadra, as Lusi has introduced. So this week we had our fifth Pacific Islands Forum Women Leaders meeting. And so this meeting is really a platform, creates a platform for our ministers, our women ministers or ministers responsible for women, to talk about gender equality and social inclusion issues in the Pacific that are common. And so this week, actually from the 3rd, Wednesday the 3rd to today, we had a series of events, including a ministerial retreat, which allowed our ministers a safe space to actually get to know each other and really engage and learn about each other's journey, political journey into leadership, and really share those experiences with each other. And yesterday, actually, we had dialogues with our civil society and private sector, and also, of course, our young people. And so one of the key approaches that we've taken with this meeting is to highlight that with gender equality and social inclusion, it's about taking a whole of life approach from birth, and making sure that it is the issues that we talk about is centered around the person, and ensuring that we keep that focus. I don't know whether Fiona wanted to add.
I think that's the key sort of focus of the meeting, and also in the spirit of inclusion, ensuring that we have those dialogues with our key partners and stakeholders, as Melinia said, in civil society and private sector, and of course our youth, who are the future of our Blue Pacific.
If you could talk to us about some of the key takeaways, maybe at the end of today. I know it doesn't end here, but if there were some key takeaways you ladies would care to share with us?
So the meeting was focused on some of the issues that our region is facing in this current climate, or in this current time where we're also feeling the effects of the Middle East crisis. So there was a lot of discussion around ensuring that social protection systems are integrated to any economic recovery policies. There has been much discussion over the last few meetings of the PIF women leaders around ensuring that we are engaging with men and boys in conversations around gender equality, and also, as Melinia said, that whole of life cycle, so also being inclusive of early childhood development, and factoring the needs of persons with disability as well.
And if I may add, so the meeting is really the governance for the declaration that we have, so the revitalized gender equality declaration of our Pacific Islands Forum leaders. And so just to give you a bit of background, in 2012, the leaders made the declaration, and so we revitalized it in 2023 in the Cook Islands, so 10 years since the initial commitment. And so for us, this meeting is really the governance or the oversight of the commitments that have been made, to ensure that while the commitments have been made, it's grounded in action. And so looking at some of the key issues that are in the declaration, and making sure that we continue to drive or act on these commitments. And so just to add to what Dr. Fiona said, taking that whole of life approach, looking at ensuring that issues like gender-based violence or the prevention of gender-based violence, that we're not looking at it as in isolation, that it is just a women's issue, but looking at it as a security issue. It's an issue around climate resilience. It's an issue that is impacted by the crisis that's happening around us. And so, ensuring that we have systems in place, but responses as well that address the impacts of these issues on not just our women, but also the ecosystem around them, and making sure that they're well supported. Because with the mother is also supporting the family and the family well-being. And so we must not, we must ensure that we're looking at it from that lens. Some of the other key things that we talked about was disability inclusion. Sometimes we, again, forget about the most vulnerable. And so we wanted to bring into this space our persons with disabilities and really highlighting some of the issues that impact on their lives. And so, really highlighting that with disability inclusion, there are women and girls and children with disabilities that we really need to ensure that they're well supported so that they can, take advantage of some of the opportunities that are available to those of us without disabilities, that they're also being given accessibility to also, take hold of some of these opportunities.
Wow. A major focal point this week was the joint session with senior trade officials during the Pacific Aid for Trade Day. Would you like to just, share with us some what happened there, what were the discussions, and what eventuated?
So the Pacific Aid for Trade Day brought together our gender officials, and the trade officials. That the aim of that day for us was to be able to bring our gender officials, the directors for women, or those who work in the women's machinery, to engage with what happens in the trade space. There's a lot of great initiatives at the regional level that happens, and the day was tailored in a way that while there was an update on trade initiatives, there was also a focus on highlighting where the GESI aspects of these trade initiatives. So it's a way of also mainstreaming gender equality and social inclusion into other spaces, and also because we had our officials from country trade and gender officials, it's an opportunity for them to connect as well and understand what's happening at the regional level, but see where they can make the connections at national level.
Okay. All right. And just to add to that, like last year, the leaders endorsed gender equality and social inclusion to be a standing, as well as early childhood development, to be standing agenda items on their annual meeting. And so, and one of the other endorsements that they made, or decisions that they made, was to ensure that gender equality and social inclusion was mainstreamed across regional priorities. So this is, the Aid for Trade Day is a way to ensure that we are doing that, and maybe centering it around people, and ensure like these trade initiatives also benefit or improve the benefits to our people, particularly our women and girls and children.
Okay. Finally, ladies, going forward, are there some things you'd like to share with us, with our audience, about, just the plans that you hope or will eventuate from what's happened here this week?
Yes, so there's a lot of work that needs to be done. Again, taking us back to the declaration and making sure that, that these are not commitments just on paper, and that remains in a booklet on the shelves, but that we're actually realizing the commitments. And it's not, it's not for anybody else but our people. And so really grounding it. And one of the key themes that we've got this year is moving from policy to action. So while we have really good, robust policies, they are just that policies if we're not acting on them. And so, and acting means better benefits for our people, particularly our women and our girls, our children and women and girls with disabilities. I think that's something that really came out in this meeting as well. And particularly with climate change, strengthening our resilience in the face of climate change issues that a lot of our countries are facing.
I think also just to keep working, there's always a lot of conversation around the need for data. Yes, and making the connection with the regional work to the national level, which is really the focus of our officials. And so we have Pacific Regional Gender Equality Monitoring, Evaluation, Research and Learning Guidelines that's being developed with our colleagues at SPC. And we hope to start implementing that to respond to this request from members to make sure that we have data also to be able to support the work that we commit to at the regional level, but also importantly for their work at the national level and the connection with the national and the sub-regional work that they do in the sub-regions.
And just maybe to add to that, this is not the work of the Secretariat alone.
Yes.
We work in close partnership with SPC and other crop agencies, depending on the areas of focus. Like for example, with PREP, we work on with them and SPC as a one crop JC team around COP engagement and all the climate change work. With our UN partners around gender equality and social inclusion, but also around health, around education with USP. And so it's really a partnership, working together collaboratively in a coordinated way to support our member countries. And really that's, as Fiona said, it's while it's about collective action and working together at the regional, it's about improving the lives of our people in the communities. And particularly those who are in our rural and the most remote areas of our island countries. And so really that's, this is why the policy to action. And so we really need to make sure that the commitments that are being made are being acted on to improve the lives of our people.
People that we all want to serve. Thank you very much, ladies. Thank you so much for agreeing to have this conversation with us. That brings an end. Our show this evening. We thank our guests this evening, Melinia Nawadra, the Social Policy Team Leader at the Pacific Islands Forum Secretariat, and Dr. Fiona Hukula, also at the Pacific Forum Secretariat, the Policy Advisor for Gender Equality. Thank you for joining us, Vinaka.